Hello, hello. How's it going? It's your Beisha. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I just made my bed. I got some new sheets. No, not not that anyone asked, but I'm excited about it. I am at that age where you get excited about buying new sheets for your bed. uh, it is what it is. Has my Discord been weird again? I don't know. It said it notified them when I went live earlier today, but it hasn't now. Maybe it will after. I don't know. I don't know. Oh well, let's just play. Load game. I'm sleepy. Oh yeah, we're going to do Becky today. We're going to do Becky's event thing today. Let's do that. Sarah picked up her doll and smiled at it. You're looking a trifle tired today, Emily. I'm looking tired. You must have been very busy while I was out of the room. Oh, I forgot that I have voices for these characters. I'm gonna have to try to remember them. I am not good at this. She gave the doll's curls a careful brushing, then tucked her into her own little cradle bed, arranging her hands to lie over the fabric cover. I think you'll feel better after a nap. I am hoping that Becky will come to visit today, but we'll try to blah 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 blah. But we'll try to be quiet so that we don't disturb you. With the air of an expectant hostess, Sarah moved around the room, running her hands over shelves and turning cushions to be just so. The room was already perfectly neat, of course. Sarah was not an untidy child by nature, and anything she might have disarranged since Becky's last visit would have been set straight by Marriott. Hello, Cleo. Hi, have you come for pats? Cleo Cat is here for pats. Are you going to sit in my lap? Okay. There you go. Still, it seemed the sort of thing a princess ought to do. Looking your best shows that you care about your visitors. Having reassured herself that everything was just so, she settled in at her desk with a sheet of sums to work for the classroom. £2, 12 shillings, 8 1/4 pence, plus £1, 14 shillings, 5 1/4 pence. That's 2 farthings, 8 and 5 pence makes 1 shilling and 1 penny. I do not understand any of that. Addition and subtraction were simple tasks, but the complications of British currency was... You're right there, Cleo? Was such that they needed to be practiced over and over again to be certain one did not forget. Yeah, it sounds a bit confusing to me. Sure, it's not confusing if you grew up with it. Becky's arrival was even more delightful when it meant putting those repetitive worksheets away. Relatable. Becky! Come in, please sit down. She lowered her voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Emily is resting today, so we must be quiet. So we must be calm and quiet, for her sake. That's all right, miss. I'm tired today too. I've made a wonderful discovery to share with you. I was out at the shops looking in windows for things that might fit neatly into your pockets and not fall into crumbs. Look. With a proud smile, she produced a tray of 3 little meat pies sealed up tight with glazed crusts. Becky's eyes quite sparkled. "Oh, miss, them'll be nice and fillin'. It's fillin'ness that's best. Cake, sponge cake's an evenly thing, but it melts away like, if you understand, miss. These'll just stay in my stomach." I don't believe it would be a good thing if a pie stayed in your stomach for always. Somebody's being noisy. It's noisy. Stop it. Stop it, please. That line of thinking led somewhere indelicate, so she quickly abandoned it. I do hope they will be satisfying. I wish you had told me before about the cake. I could have brought something else before this. Beef sandwiches, perhaps, or rolls and bologna sauce. All that for me, miss? Of course, why not? I like to share food with you. I like to see you enjoy yourself. None of the girls here ever enjoy cooked meals half so much. But I might never have guessed you wanted something other than cake. Why didn't you tell me? Oh, please, miss. No one's ever been so kind to me before. Not even my own mum. How could I ask you for more? How could I? Oh, you know what? You deserve head pats. Oh, poor Becky. Poor, sweet, precious Becky. There you go. Were you afraid that if you asked me for something and I said no, that I would be angry with you? Yes, no, miss. But you've done so many nice things for me. And if still I weren't happy, that'd be right sour of me, you see? You won't want somebody sour. Oh, Becky, you are never sour. Not one little bit. I like sour. I like sour foods. Sour foods are yum. Num num num. But we are friends, you and I. Friends, miss? Of course we are. And a friend isn't upset when a friend asks her for something, even if she might have to say no. I could have done this for you sooner if you hadn't kept it a secret what you wanted. Let's promise never to keep secrets from each other ever again. She held out her hand to seal the pact. Becky started to reach for it, then hesitated. Never at all, miss. What if there are some secrets that are nice, like surprises? Oh, I didn't think of that. You are very clever. Becky smiled in nervous agreement. I will make a better promise, then. Let's promise to always trust each other if we need help. Alright? Alright. They clasped hands. The scullery maid's palm was rough and calloused, but her fingers curled sweetly around Sarah's. Good. New week. Mademoiselle, you must hold still so that I can see the new dress on you correctly. I'm sorry, Mariette. I heard a horse's hooves and the sound of wheels, and then they slowed, and I thought perhaps it was a carriage come to call. A carriage with my papa. Mademoiselle, hanging your head will not make your papa come any faster. Nor will it help me adjust your dress for the party. Is it wrong to keep hoping, Mariette? I know he never sent word that he could come, but he never sent a letter to say that he absolutely couldn't either. I do not think that I can answer that, mademoiselle. Hope is something very personal. Then I think I will. It will be sad if my birthday comes and my papa is not here, but if I give up hope, then it would be sad for now. Then I would be sad now. I think it will be easier to be a little sad then, while I am having a nice party with my friends, than to be sad now. I am sorry. I didn't mean to make it more difficult for you to finish my dress. Sarah raised her head and spread out her arms like a little doll. If my papa is to see this, then it must be lovely, and if my papa will not be there, then it should be just as nice to keep up our spirits. You right there, Cleo? You got scratches? Are you itchy? Itchy Cleo cat. Isn't that right, Emily? Mariette laughed to herself, but would not say why. Okay, sympathy, knowledge, patience, and grace are the main ones. Let's get this. Let's do that. Well, that wasn't very good. It was at last the day of Sarah's birthday party. There had been no further word from her papa, but at this moment Sarah was too carried away with anticipation to feel disappointment. Oh, Miss Minchin, may I not go into the classroom yet? Everyone is already there waiting. Not until the preparations are complete, my dear. This is not an ordinary occasion. I do not desire that it should be treated as one. And so she was required to wait in the hall, breathless and fidgeting, until Cook emerged from the classroom. Everything's ready, Mum. I don't know what voice to give her. It's good enough. Very well. Take my hand, Sarah, and let us enter. Hi, Flower. It's Miss Minchin. It is based on a little princess. I knew that you would notice. Sarah entered the holly-hung schoolroom as the head of a sort of procession. That movie was my childhood. Yeah, I remember. I remember that you were the one who introduced me to it. First there was Miss Minchin in a grand silk dress, and Sarah herself guided by her hand. Have you been having a good day? I hope that your day's been well. A manservant followed, carrying the box containing the last doll. Cook carried a second box, and Becky brought up the rear, carrying a third box, and wearing a clean apron and a new cap. Okay, no problems. All the students in their seats stared at this little parade, the older girls touching each other's elbows and nodding, the younger squirming with excitement. Faced with so many eyes, Sarah felt herself unaccountably shy. Not since her first introduction at Miss Minchin's select seminary had she been quite so much the centre of all attention. Silence, young ladies! The room itself was not quite transformed, but certainly made far more festive. The desks had been pushed away, and the long-form benches covered over with red cloth. A large table had been set in pride of place, its surface scattered with flower petals. Ooh, pretty. It was here that Miss Minchin directed her entourage. James, place that box upon the table and remove the lid. Emma, put yours upon a chair. Becky. Becky had quite forgotten herself in her excitement and was exchanging grins with Lottie when that disapproving voice nearly startled her into dropping her box. Yes, ma'am. She bobbed a shaky little curtsy of apology, but with the box still in her arms, the positioning was quite awkward. Or they're giggling at her. Cheeky chops. Both tittered at once, and then looked at each other in startlement for falling so easily into their lost rapport. It is not your place to look at the young ladies. You forget yourself. Put your box down. Yes, you may leave us. Oh, poor Becky. She waved her hand and the servants began to walk away. If you please, Miss Minchin, mayn't Becky stay? Becky! I want her because I know that she will like to see the presents. She is a little girl too, you know. Miss Minchin was scandalized. She glanced from one figure to the other. My dear Sarah, Becky is a scullery maid. Scullery maids are not little girls. That's rude. You're being rude again. But Becky is, and I know she would enjoy herself. Please let her stay, because it's my birthday. Miss Minchin took a slow breath and replied with much dignity. As you ask, it is as a birthday favour. She may stay. Rebecca, thank Miss Sarah for her great kindness. Becky had been backing into the corner, twisting the hem of her apron in delighted suspense. She came forward, bobbing curtsies, but out of Miss Minchin's sight she passed a friendly wink to Sarah. Oh, if you please, miss. I'm that grateful, miss. I did want to see the doll, miss. That I did. Thank you, miss, and thank you, ma'am, for the liberty. Go and stand there, now, not too near the young ladies. Becky went to her place grinning. She did not even mind when Miss Minchin cleared her throat ominously and spoke again. Now, young ladies, I have a few words to say to you. She's going to make a speech. I wish it was over. You are aware, young ladies, that today is dear Sarah's birthday. Dear Sarah. ... Head pats for Sarah. Now she's sad. Sarah's birthdays are rather different from other little girls' birthdays. When she is older, she will be the heiress to a large fortune, which it would be her duty to spend in a meritorious manner. What does meritorious mean? Let's look it up. Let's do our learning thing of the day. Meritorious. Meritorious meaning. The meaning of meritorious is deserving of honor or esteem. Okay. Cool beans. Good to know. Good to know. The diamond mines. When her dear papa, Captain Crew, brought her from India and gave her into my care, he said to me in a jesting way, "I am afraid she will be very rich, Miss Minchin." My reply was, "Her education at my seminary, Captain Crew, shall be such as will adorn the largest fortune." I wish she would stop. Saying these things makes me feel hot all over, and everyone is staring. Sarah has become my most accomplished pupil. Her French and her dancing are a credit to the seminary. Her manners, which have caused you to call her Princess Sarah, are perfect. Her amiability she exhibits by giving you this afternoon's party. I hope you appreciate her generosity. I wish you to express your appreciation of it by saying aloud altogether, "Thank you, Sarah." The entire classroom rose to its feet and chorused Miss Minchin's words. Lottie even jumped up and down. Sarah looked rather shyly for a moment, then made a very nice curtsy. "Thank you for coming to my party." "Very pretty indeed, Sarah. That is what a real princess does when the populace applauds her." "Lavinia, the sound you just made was extremely like a snort. If you are jealous of your fellow pupil, I beg you will express your feelings in a more ladylike manner." ... I want to say I feel bad for Lavinia, and I kind of do, but also I kind of don't. "Now, I will leave you to enjoy yourselves. Bye." The instant she had swept out of the room, the web-like aura that had held the girls down dissipated, and they rushed from their seats in a babble of excitement. It was the boxes that drew the most attention. Sarah was bent over one. "There are books, I know. Does your papa send you books for a birthday present?" "Why? He's as bad as mine." "I like them." "Books aren't exciting. I want to see the doll." For everyone present, through whispered rumours, had come to know that a quite magnificent doll was due to appear. Even so, when Sarah finally produced the last doll from her box, a number of the girls were struck speechless. It did not seem possible that she could be a doll. She looked only a bit smaller than the younger students, as if a beautiful child had lain asleep in that box. Who's speaking here? Is it this one or this one? I think it's this one. "She's dressed for the theatre. Look, her cloak is lined with ermine. Oh, she has an opera glass in her hand, a blue and gold one." Sarah drew out the doll's trunk and the little golden key which unlocked it. Inside were tray after tray of delightful things. "Welcome back. How is it going? Everything all good?" There were lace collars and silk stockings and handkerchiefs. There was a jewel case containing a necklace and a tiara which looked quite as if they were made of real diamonds. Sarah picked up a black velvet hat to perch on the last doll's curls. "Yeah, it was Julian? Cool beans. That's good." Good old Jim Jam. "I haven't had the best day today." "Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. But it can only get better." "Yes, that is right. It will get better. It will be the best of days. It will end as a wonderful day and you will go to sleep with a smile on your face. That's what I believe. You'll be all happy." When I made lunch and tea, I knocked and knocked over everything and it fell everywhere. Oh, that sucks. I remember once I made stir fry for dinner, and I went to serve it up and I spilt it everywhere. And then there was no more dinner. I just ended up getting takeaway. I was so disappointed. It sucks when that happens. It will get better. That just means it gets to be a better day afterwards. That's so sad. I know. You enjoy your toasty. Oh no. Oh no, last tea bag. Oh no. And now you get to have a whole new thing of tea. We'll send you the tea. If I could, I would send you some tea. Suppose she understands human talk and feels proud of being admired. You are always supposing things. Her air was very superior, and yet the words were less vicious than Lavinia's outbursts in the past weeks had been. Perhaps the aura of celebration had brought even Lavinia some happiness. There is nothing so nice as supposing. It's almost like being a fairy. If you suppose anything hard enough, it seems as if it were real. That sounds like you, Flower. She's affirming. Look at this. Twinsies. Head pats. Which one is Lavinia? This one's Lavinia. We don't give Lavinia head pats. No. No, no. You can get head pats later. If you're nice. I do believe in fairies. Fairies are lovely and cute. At that moment, the door opened. Ladies. Lavinia is a bitch. She really is. She got better though. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping. I'm waiting for it. She said like some nasty stuff so far. But like we also walked into a room with her crying in there. So there's obviously stuff going on in the background. I haven't seen the movie in ages or read the book, so I can't really remember what happens. So I'm looking forward to finding out through this, hopefully. Interesting. Yes. Cook drew herself up as if in blah blah blah. I can say words. As if attempting to speak in Miss Minchin's dry tones, but the effect did not quite become her. Miss Minchin has a meeting. So she said, you should all have your refreshments now. Refreshments! Yeah. Becky, who had seen the preparations ahead of time, could not help blurting out, tell her what you got. Cook shook a heavy hand in Becky's direction, and the scullery girl closed her mouth and ducked away. We love Becky. Becky's a sweetie. Special treat from overseas, all the way from America. It's some kind of beans in spiced tomato sauce, and they put it in cans. Is it baked beans? Is it treat baked beans? Is it spicy beans? That's so funny. Baked beans, oh no. How awful. I actually like spicy beans. I tried them and I actually like them. You'd rather die. Worst way to torture flour. Make her eat baked beans. How quaint, she says. Baked beans. I just find that so funny, though. They're so fancy, and I just imagine them sitting there with cans of baked beans. In her office, Miss Minchin was meeting with a familiar visitor. Good day, Mr. Barrow. Have you come to see the goods? I assure you the doll is just as expected. £100, all expensive material and made at a Parisian modest? What is this? Let's look at this one. What is this? Modiste. Modiste. What is this? What is this thing? I need to know. Is one who makes and sells fashionable dresses and hats for women. Okay. They're like a fashion designer. We learning all the things today. He spent money lavishly enough, that young man. Captain Crewe is a man of fortune. The diamond mines alone. Diamond mines? There are no such things. Never were. Miss Minchin stood up from her chair in confusion. What do you mean? At any rate, it would have been much better if there were never any. Any diamond mines? I don't understand. Diamond mines spell ruin oftener than they spell wealth. When a man is in the hands of a very dear friend, and is not a businessman himself, he had better steer clear of the dear friend's diamond mines, or gold mines, or any other kind of mines dear friends want his money to put into. The late Captain Crewe. The late Captain Crewe? You don't come to tell me that Captain Crewe is... He's dead, ma'am. Oh, it's sad, but the way I said it sounded funny. Died of jungle fever and business troubles combined. Oh no. The jungle fever might not have killed him if he had not been driven mad by the business troubles. That was the worst part. I know it's sad. And the troubles might not have put an end to him if the fever had not assisted. Captain Crewe is dead. Dun dun dun. Oh, it's actually really sad. It's so sad. Miss Minchin dropped into her chair again. What were his business troubles? Diamond mines, and dear friends, and ruin. Ruin? That young man had too much money and spent it too freely. The dear friend was mad on the subject of the diamond mine. He put all his money into it. Then the dear friend ran away. Captain Crewe was already stricken with fever when the news came. The shock was too much for him. He died delirious, raving about his little girl, and left her not a penny. Oh, I don't believe that for a second. No! No. He left nothing? Uh, do you mean to tell me that the child is a beggar? That she is left on my hands a little pauper instead of a heiress? She is certainly left a beggar, and she is certainly left in your hands, ma'am, as she hasn't a relation in the world that we know of. She is sitting in my rooms at this very moment, dressed in silk gauze and lace petticoats, giving a party at my expense. She's certainly giving it at your expense, madam, if she's giving it. I was always so sure of his payments that I went to all sorts of ridiculous expenses for that child. Her maid, her carriage. I paid the bills for that ridiculous doll and her ridiculous, fantastic wardrobe. I sent you the receipts. Barrow and Skipworth are not responsible for anything. There was never a cleaner sweep made of a man's fortune. Captain Crewe died without paying our last bill, and it was a big one. Now Miss Minchin understood, and never had she received such a blow in her life. She felt as if she had been outraged and robbed, and that Captain Crewe and Sarah and Mr. Barrow were all equally to blame. I mean, somebody's dead. Way to make it about you. Jeez. I mean, I get it. I do, but I mean, there's something a little bit more tragic going on here. Her show pupil, her prized patron, her income, all had been snatched away. Instead, she was burdened with an extravagantly brought-up child, one who had cost her a great deal and might continue to cost her even more. Miss Minchin was so awful. Where's the compassion? I know, right? She's really mean. She's a meanie. But what am I to do? What am I to do? There isn't anything to do. Captain Crewe is dead. The child is left a pauper. Nobody is responsible for her but you. I am not responsible for her, and I refuse to be made responsible. If you think she is to be foisted off on me, you are greatly mistaken. I have been robbed and cheated. I will turn her into the street. That's so mean. You're mean. Mr. Barrow turned and moved toward the door, showing no concern. He's mean too. I wouldn't do that, madam. It wouldn't look well. No, it wouldn't. There we go. Reflects poorly on the establishment. Pupil bundled out penniless and without friends. Other parents might object. You and I are people of business, madam. We can be sensible about these matters. Better to keep her and make use of her. She's a clever child, I believe. You can get a good deal out of her as she grows older. I will get a good deal out of her before she grows older. I am sure you will, madam. I am sure you will. He gave a little sinister smile and departed. This makes me feel icky. For moments, Maria mentioned, I didn't know her first name was Maria. Well, now we know. Was incapable of doing anything but standing and staring at the closed door. Hi, Gizmo! I hope work's going well. What? You came in at the best part. We just found out that Sarah's dad died. It's sad. They don't care. They're meanies. During the past months, the story of the diamond mines had suggested all sorts of possibilities to her. Even proprietors of seminaries might make fortunes in stock with the aid of owners in mines. That is not the best part. I mean, obviously. Who is Sarah? And why are they getting use of her before she grows? Oh, no! I see what's going on. No, her dad died, and she's cost them lots of money. I'm pretty sure they make her a maid. I don't want to know what you're playing. I'm playing a little Lily Princess. It's based on a little princess. And now, instead of looking forward to gains, she was left to look back upon losses. Such money as she herself had advanced was lost and could not be regained. Instead of a jewel of a pupil, she had only friendless, beggared little girl. Great movie, one of my faves. That and The Secret Garden. Oh, The Secret Garden. Good old days. Good old days of The Secret Garden. I want a secret garden. The Princess Sarah, indeed. The child has been pampered as if she were a queen. She did not realize at first that she had spoken aloud and then scowled at her own loss of control. What was lost could not be recovered, but she would not blah, 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 blah. But she would see to it that she lost nothing more. Miss Minchin is mean. You wanted to see me, Miss Minchin? The older woman ignored Sarah's presence completely, turning her gaze to the young French woman who served as Sarah's maid. Mariette, has the girl a black frock in her sumptuous wardrobe? A black frock, madam? She has frocks of every colour. Has she a black one? Mariette's face stiffened as the awful suspicion grew. Yes, but it is too short for her. She has only the old black velvet, and she has outgrown it. Miss Minchin, what has happened? You do not speak until you are spoken to. Bring the black dress out at once. Whether it is too short or not, she is done with finery. Yes, madam. Sarah did not speak. She could not. Her entire body was frozen in place. Her eyes seemed to get bigger and bigger, and she went quite pale. She deserves head pats. For comfort. Poor Sarah. Doo-doo-doo. Captain Crew is dead. He has died without a penny. This spoiled, pampered, fanciful child is left a pauper on my hands. You, Sarah, take off that preposterous gauze. Change into the black dress and meet me in my office. And you, Mariette, you were employed on the authority of Captain Crew, and your wages were his responsibility, not mine. As he has left us with nothing, there is nothing left for you. Your employment is hereby terminated. Remove yourself from this establishment at once. Poor Mariette. I mean, imagine working somewhere and then just finding that out, and they're just like, well, I don't care that you're in a different country and that you probably don't have that much money and you don't have a home in this country. Like, that's not my problem. Like, what the frick? What the fuck, Miss Minchin? Mariette walked heavily down the stairs. A bevy of frightened, confused faces looked up at her, the students of the party, which had been so suddenly called to a halt. Oh, Mariette, what has happened? I can't say that. It's in French. I'm not even going to try. What? I don't understand. Sarah's papa is dead. She has nothing. I have nothing. What? Nothing? It is all over. I am leaving. She looks angry. I feel bad for them all. The girls who remained were too shocked to prevent Marriott's angry exit. Sarah, Mama. I can't believe it. There must be a mistake. I will speak to Miss Minchin at once. Wait, that one's a. It's I can't tell who's speaking. I think it's Lavinia who's speaking there. That's whose voice I did. Yes, good. Lavinia, get out of my way, you clod. Oh, God. She was good for 2 seconds. Lavinia shoved the other girls aside. Ermengarde could not find the will to resist her. It was all too terrible and too certainly true. What will happen now? Will Miss Minchin make her leave too? Becky's legs would no longer hold her. She fell into a heap on the floor, her kerchief sliding loose, and sobbed as if her heart would break. It's exactly like ones of the stories. Them poor princess ones that was drove into the world. She looks so sad. Oh no. When Sarah Crewe came into Miss Minchin's office an hour later, her face was white and her eyes had dark rings around them. Ah! She is so sad. Look. No. She did not look in the least like the rose-coloured butterfly child. Rose-coloured butterfly child. Who had flown from one treasure to another in the decorated schoolroom. Without Marriott's aid, she had put on the cast-aside black velvet frock. It was too short and tight, making her legs look drawn out and spindle-thin where they showed beneath the skirt. She clutched Emily tightly in one arm, the doll's face covered by a scrap of discarded black lace for a mourning veil. Put that doll down. What do you mean by bringing it here? Don't be mean. Stop it. It should have been left in the room along with all the other things that are no longer yours. She's mean. She is all I have. My papa gave her to me before I came to the school. I will not put her down. You will have no time for dolls in the future. Everything will be different now. Do you quite understand matters? Yes, my papa is dead. He left me no money. I am quite poor. I'm so sad. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I knew it was coming, but I'm not happy. You are a beggar. It appears that you have no relations and no home and no one to take care of you. What are you staring at? Are you so stupid that you cannot understand? Don't be a meanie. Stop it. I'm sure there's a better word than meanie. Fuck my life. I tell you that you are quite alone in the world, unless I choose to keep you here out of charity. I understand. That ridiculous French doll and all her nonsensical, extravagant things. I actually paid the bill for her. The last doll indeed. And she is mine, not yours. Everything you own is mine. Please take it away from me then. I do not want it. Do not put on airs with me. You are not a princess any longer. You're always a princess if you want to be one. You will keep only your oldest and plainest clothes, and the rest will be sold. You are like Becky. You must work for your living. What can I do? You can do anything you were told. If you make yourself useful, I may let you stay here. You will run errands and help in the kitchen, as well as in the classroom. Schoolroom. If you don't please me, you will be sent away. Remember that. You're a jerk. You jerk. Yeah. Yeah. I won't forget. Come with me. Miss Minchin led Sarah along the hall past her own beautiful, comfortable rooms, stopping at a narrow staircase leading upwards. Your rooms will be given to another boarder. You are to sleep in the attic next to Becky. The attic is cooler anyway. It's got rats. They can be friends. Sarah stood still just a moment, looking at her. Without a word, she turned to the stairs. Stop! That was a dramatic stop. Don't you intend to thank me? For what for? For my kindness to you. My kindness in giving you a home. I mean, you're not doing it because you want to. You're doing it because you have to. Sarah made 2 or 3 steps towards her. Her thin little chest heaved up and down. You are not kind. You are not kind. And it is not a home. Yeah, you tell her, Sarah. Here, you get head pats. Pat, 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 pat. You deserve the head pats. You tell her. Wait. Sarah is a good example. A good example of how to stand up for yourself. We appreciate Sarah. Before Miss Minchin could stop her, she turned and ran up the narrow stairs. It's even got a little fireplace. It's kind of cute. I like this window. You know what? The attic is better. When she reached the attic door, hi, keep it barking. How's it going? Miss Minchin. I know she's mean, isn't she? Miss Minchin's a jerk. When she reached the attic door and opened it, her heart gave a dreary little thump. It was another world. Starview. I know, right? It's pretty. I reckon the attic's better than the other rooms. We're looking for positives here. There's not a lot of positives, but I think that's a decent positive. The room had a slanting roof. It was whitewashed, but the whitewash was dingy and had fallen off in places. There was a rusty grate on an old iron bedstead, and a hard bed covered with a faded coverlet. I'm about to head to bed, but we'll watch for a moment. That's perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great sleep when you head off to bed. There's no problems there. Make sure you have a good sleeps. Some pieces of furniture too worn to be used downstairs were stored here, out of sight. Under the dull illumination from the skylight in the roof, there stood an old battered red footstool. Sarah went to it and sat down. She seldom cried. She did not cry now. She laid Emily across her knees and stared at her impressive doll face. I wish she could talk. If she could speak. She is your friend. Give her hugs. You're allowed to cry. You can cry if you want to. But Emily did not make a sound, and neither did Sarah. Sarah sat in silence for some time, until there came a low tap on the door, such a low, humble one that she did not even hear it. Her attention was not roused until the door was timidly pushed aside, and her poor, tear-smeared face peeped around it. A paw. Oh, I can't read. Oh, miss. Becky deserves head pats too. We love you, Becky. We love you, Sarah. Poor Sarah. Would you allow me just to come in? Sarah lifted her head and looked at her. She tried to begin a smile, and somehow she could not. Faced with the loving mournfulness of Becky's streaming eyes, her own at last began to water. Oh, Becky. She held out her hand. Becky ran to her, clasping it tightly. I told you, didn't I? That we're just the same, just two little girls. You see how true it is? There's no difference between us now. I'm not a princess anymore. Becky knelt beside her, hugging Sarah's hand to her chest. Yes, miss, you are. Whatever happens to you, whatsoever, you'd be a princess all the same. And nothing couldn't make you nothing different. We loves you, Becky. Becky's a good bean. That first night she spent in her attic was a thing Sarah never forgot. During its passing, she lived through a wild, unchildlike woe of which she never spoke to anyone. There was no one who would have understood. My papa is dead. Hello, I'm from British. Do you like my accent? I'm trying. It was perhaps for the best that as she oh, I'm so distracted now. Okay. It was perhaps for the best that she lay there. Her mind was forcibly distracted from its anguish by the strangeness of her surroundings and the physical discomfort of her hard bed underneath her. My papa is dead. She turned over and over again in search of rest, while all around her pressed a darkness more intense than any she had ever known. This is nice. Poor Sarah, right? Bang up the elephant. I have no idea what that means. Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Bang up the... Bang up the elephant. A Victorian term originating in London in 1882. Being perfect, complete, done properly. Oh, okay. Cool beans. I learnt something new. We like learning new things. It's an old English proverb for something that is perfect. Yeah, that's I like learning new things. So thank you. I appreciate that. It's very interesting. I've never heard that one. And the wind howled among the chimneys like a living thing. Some noises were worse than the wind. There were scuffings and scratchings and squeakings in the walls, and behind the skirting boards, Sarah knew what they meant because Becky had described them. Rats. They're your friends. You make friends with the rats. Once or twice, she even heard sharp-toed feet scurrying across the floor in her attic room, and startled up from her bed. Actually, it is pretty scary when you're just laying in bed and like a rat or a mouse runs across the floor. I have experienced that once. Rats are cute. Rats are cute. I like them. Sarah needs a little dog companion. I agree. I agree with that. She needs a doggo. But there was nowhere for her to go, and nothing for her to do but lay her small form down again and cover her head with the bedclothes. Sleep. What she had of it came only in those moments where exhaustion overwhelmed confusion and despair. Sarah could sleep only a few minutes at a time before her awareness forcibly resurfaced. Papa. Oh. It's sad. In the morning, her already pale face had been haggard by the night of torment. She passed through the hallway where the students slept. The door to her rooms stood slightly ajar, enough for Sarah to see that everything had been changed. Her ornaments and luxuries had been removed, and a bed had been placed in a corner to transform it into a new pupil's bedroom. Her presence had been completely wiped away. When she went down for the morning meal... Oh, whoops, I didn't get to read that. Hold on, can I go back? I don't know how to. Well, we missed that bit. I clicked by accident. It's gone. You ought to have been down earlier, Sarah, if you wanted any breakfast. ... You are not a student here, but an employee. You have duties you must begin as you are to go on. It said her seat had now been taken by Lavinia, who now looked at her coldly, I think. Thank you. I am a very slow reader. That sounds about right. Take a seat with the younger children and see that they keep quiet and do not waste their food. Yes, Miss Minchin. I must do the best that I can. I must not talk back. This is all that I have. Poor Sarah. Now that Sarah is no longer a student, her time is filled with chores, and the kinds of icons she can gather have changed. Oh no! Hunger, fatigue, pride, pain, chill, sorrow. Jeez! Wow. Okay, that's morbid. As before, icons are only converted at the end of the week. Until then, blah blah blah. Plan the order of your activities in order to get the best results for the week. Okie dokie. Continue. Alright. Well, we're gonna leave it there today, I think. I think that's about all we can take for today. And we're like 15 minutes over? Oh no, it's only 5 minutes over because I started a little bit late. We're gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you had a wonderful time. Take care of yourselves. Drink some water, eat some food, wash your face, do all the good things, give yourself a nice lovely hug. I'm lightning fast, but not when it was reading school books. Yeah, that's fair. Seems like a fun game. We'll have to check it out. See ya. Yes, it is good. I'm enjoying it. I definitely recommend. It's on Steam if you want to play it. Yeah, have a good night. Keep barking. I hope you have a good sleep. And goodbye to everyone for now. I'll be back on at 4. I'll be on again at 4 to 5, and I'm not sure what we're going to play yet. Usually I play Sheltered at that time, so we might play that. But yeah, we'll figure it out then. Thank you again. And I'm going to go now. Have a good one. Bye.